Hello, and welcome to OGC Gaming with your host, OGC. What's up, guys? So, welcome. Today we have a special video. First and foremost, I'm not wearing Bruins hat because I feel like I wear that every time. So, today we are going to be going over the new game update. This is going to be patch 1.21.08. It happened on June 18th. 2019. So there's a ton to go over. So to begin with, we can go right on through. First, we can now transfer realms to lower level realms. I'll kind of show you guys a brief example of what that looks like. Everything is going to cost insane amounts to transfer now. It's absolutely crazy. It's cool that we can transfer up slightly. However, the cost for transfers in general are insane. Next, we got hero balances. So Yip and Vega, both of their barriers to range damage have greatly increased health. We'll look at that. I'm not going to do a bunch of testing with it because I don't think they're going to still be any useful. Gaff Guard, giant buff for dwarfs. We will be looking into that. There it is in the screen. And dwarf. We have increased force field. We have a fixed bug that caused force field to work improperly. Rocking gets a big nerf for their swordsmen, which are now called clansmen, but I've been calling them swordsmen for like the past year and a half. It's going to take me probably a year and a half to get used to calling them clansmen. Sylph, Rude Awakening is now going to be decent. Clash of Fate, there's new items that you can earn through participating in Clash of Fate, which is absolutely awesome. And other updates, now if we convert specific items into other items while trying to craft artifacts, or upgrade your artifact levels, you can now turn them back. So before it was you could exchange things for like lilies, but once you made the lilies, you couldn't get them back into the Everflame. So now you can actually bring them back. There's an about chakra information screen in the enlightenment menu. So I'm pretty sure that's like the FAQs that they added in. And you can now scroll through the void menu shop. You now purchase the space-time scrolls. That allows you to transfer servers, and research rates have been changed. So first things first, let's look at the first portion of this. We are going to look at the realm transfers, and so nobody look at what realm I'm currently on, please. It's a giant secret. Nobody can ever find out. Thank you. So if I want to go back to my original realm, which is 1205, you can see down in the bottom of the screen it says transfer costs, and it has a red 3. That means I would need to buy time space scrolls, and if I buy 3 of those, it's going to be 1500 Lenari. That's pretty standard. It doesn't matter what your core ranking is or anything like that if you're going back to your original server. So my original server is actually merged with like I think it's like 1200 through 1209. So if I tried to make it into another one, the price would go up drastically, even though it's pretty much the same server. Or maybe I got it wrong. Now I can go to newer servers. So again, my original server was 1205, so say I want to come up, I can transfer up. There is a delay on my transfer, and that's simply because I recently transferred. It looks like I transferred about 4 days ago. So there is a delay on that. As we move up further, we still have that delay. Now there does become a point where transfer will take even longer. So it looks like there's only a specific amount of realms that you can transfer to when it comes to the newer ones. If I want to go to a relatively new realm, it's going to take me a very long time in order to be able to transfer there. Now, it's a very good thing. So this is a very double-edged sword. So I can go to newer servers. If I was somebody originally from like server 1, server 20, server 30, yeah, this is the thing that we've been waiting for forever, because we can finally transfer out. However, I'll give you my example. Where we currently reside is on 1188. That's where my house is. So if I go back to 1188, for the place that I just transferred from, that I could go there before for 1500 Lenari, I now need, what is that, 51 of the time scrolls? So let's just figure out the cost of that. So that's going to cost me 25,000 Lenari to go home. So if I just want to go home back to my friends, yeah, I'm going to have to take out a mortgage on the house and sell off some cars and things like that. So definitely cool to be able to transfer to newer realms. The price for transferring, if your core power is high, is through the roof. So good luck with that. I'm not even very high with my core power in comparison to a lot of other people. So the last important thing to note for transferring is, if I want to go to a server where I would be number one in core power, it's up to the emperor of that server through diplomacy skill in order to accept or deny. So that is important. When we look at the hero balance and we look at Yip, Vega, etc., we now have the mana barriers. I guess that there's a significant improvement to them. So let's take a quick look. We can skill one up. So it looks like at rank, what is that, 8? Rank 8 or rank 9 really, the mana barrier offers like 2.4 or yeah 2.4 million health that it can effectively block. I still don't see this as being super useful. Maybe towards the end game of a fight it could be useful, but I don't think it's going to be commonplace. Sorry, I just want to put Vega back before I forget. And same thing with Yip. Yes, I need to level my Yip up. I know my Yip is underappreciated. It's going to pretty much be the same thing with his Wind Wall. Granted, it lasts a little bit longer. I do think that this could be used to protect a specific unit or something like that, but 2.5 million health when one of my packs of human archers, I've gotten over 90 million damage, which is averaging about 1 million damage per second. I don't know, 2.5 million health doesn't seem that high. However, that's just for me. If you're on a newer server and things aren't super high level, maybe 2 million, protecting stuff for 2 million health worth of damage, maybe it might actually be useful in that situation if you're on a newer server, if you're castle level 30 or something. It might be more useful in those situations. So next, when we look at the heroes, the big one is going to be Gafgar. So Gafgar's temporary repair got a ginormous buff that will make mechanics, or mechs, I'm sorry, it will make mechs valuable again. So what this buff is instead of healing for a specific amount, kind of like Vega, Vega heals for a specific amount. It's a set amount. As troops scale up with health, those set amounts have depreciating value. So why temporary repair and why this is such a big buff for them is because it scales up through percentages of the unit's health, which means the troop gets stronger and all of a sudden it gets healed from more health. It's very efficient, it's very good. If we look, okay, cool, I do have one. So level 8 will allow the units to recover 9% health per second for 17 seconds. I believe if you get this to +9 and you put on the +1 item, I believe it's going to be 12% health per second for 18 seconds. That could be the level 9. I could be wrong with that. It may be the level 10 is even higher than that, which would be insane. So Dwarf could be viable again. I have my own thoughts with Dwarf. personally, I think running mechs on a front line with a bunch of snipers with the chakra for the reloading ammos and putting in a mana worm, um, that way, 30 seconds, 40 seconds into the fight, you pop the mana worm and you got like machine guns going off with the snipers. I think that would be super cool. I'm not willing to try that out at all, but if somebody does and they have success, please let me know because it just sounds awesome. So I think we might be seeing more and more dwarf appear. Um, will it take over, kind of like how Rockin did when Rockin got his buffs? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to overwhelm and everyone's going to be dwarf. I think we're still going to see an influx of Sylph players, maybe some more Lich players, which would be nice for diversity. We'll still have some Rockin players, and maybe the some dwarfs will appear, which would be nice for the diversity of PvP in the game. Next, let's talk about troop balances. So first, we have the increase, the upgraded force field. So pretty much Dwarf is just getting their units a slight buff to the force field, and the force field is actually going to work as it's supposed to now. So that's a very good thing. When it comes to Rockin' swords or clansmen are going to take a little bit of nerf. I don't even know if I have any. I do not. The swords are going to lose 5% of their health and 20% of their attack. They should still be viable, just not quite as strong as they were before. And Sylph is getting a major buff to the mana worms. Rude Awakening now affects all friendly units on the battlefield. So if we look at Rude Awakening, or if we look at the Mana Worm in general, because I think that this is a very underrated unit. If you go back in my videos, I did use this for completing Void 120 Perfect a while ago, but it worked. So first we start off with Hibernation. So the worm starts battle in a deep magical slumber, waking when its health drops or if you force it to. It increases the damage and attack speed for 30 seconds. So it's a set amount buff for 30 seconds, and its effect increases by 1.5% for every 1 second spent in hibernation. So essentially every 10 seconds that the worm is in hibernation, you get an extra 15% attack and attack speed. So damage and attack speed. Rude Awakening wakes up the mana worm from hibernation, increasing the damage and stuff. It increases it by the 1.5% for every 1 second spent in hibernation. So this is kind of like the opposite of a turtle. You use the turtle at the beginning of the battle to get a giant buff for all of your troops and everything. You want the mana worm to kind of power up, if you will, over some time. That way when you do use it, it has appreciating value, is very efficient, especially if you can drag the battle out a little bit. That's why I'm thinking if Gavkar rapidly heals the mechs for the first 18 seconds, that's 18 seconds where your mechs really are not going to die. And then, then pop the mana worm. So will the worm replace the turtle? I don't think so. I think that they both have their own function. They function differently. One is you use the turtle at the beginning of the battle. The second is you use the worm after you let it power up for a while. So I think that they have different roles that they place into your army. If you can fit both of them in your battlefield formation, that would be awesome. So I would give this a little bit of time for people to kind of test it out and play with it. And I encourage you, the viewer, to go try it out for yourself, play around with the turtle and the worm and figure out what works best for you. But that's pretty cool that they fixed it so it affects all of your units on the battlefield. I thought that's how it always was, but no, I'm usually wrong with everything. So now when we look at the black market, to start things off, we can look and see that we can exchange the lilies and get them back into the Everflames, and or vice versa. so we can come in and exchange them back and forth. Which is good as they put out new artifacts. So you don't get stuck with converting stuff for a specific artifact and then not being able to use it. That would not be fun. The other thing under the black market is the seasons chest from Clash of Fate will contain badges of bravery, which we can exchange for gears. So when we look at these gears, there's 4 of them. The first one is the Scarab Amulet. Forget about this one. I hope nobody spends any of their points to get these. You can earn these through participating in other events in the game. There's a 3-piece set. It's the Barbaric set. So you have the breastplate, you have the helm, and you also have the Great Axe. So what this set does is a 3-piece set for the gladiators, and every second that passes by in the battle, your gladiator gains 2% damage and 1% attack speed. That is so massive, guys. It's not even funny. It's absolutely insane. If you use this set and if you wanted pure damage, use this set, throw on the Void 135 weapon. That's going to make any of the gladiators terrifying, besides Rufio. It will just be absolutely crazy. I'm excited to test out with this set. I don't think that's the best setup, by the way, the 135 item along with this set. I think that damage mitigation is needed. But if you're going for pure damage like that, that's going to be some massive damage. So this is an exciting set. It's going to take a while for us to see it and or test it, but I am looking forward to that. And other updates, you can now read about the About chakra in the menu, and you can scroll through the Void shop. So hopefully I'm not too far from the Void. And we already covered how to purchase the Space-Time Scrolls. So I think all that we have left is to check out the Void. So what can we do in the Void now? We can scroll through the Void shop menu. Oh, I see. Okay, so for anybody that doesn't understand what that means, which I did not before, before you used to have to hit the little arrows on the side, and I don't know if you guys have fat thumbs like I do, but I go to hit that side and I keep getting knocked out. Now you can click anywhere in the store and just slide and it will move over. So that's kind of cool, actually. I like that. So anyways, yeah, little quality of life update for the for the Void. So tomorrow we have a video coming out. It's going to be an example of kind of dissecting a low-level account. It's going to be a level 33 account. I'm going to see the full account, and I'm going to go through and kind of critique it. Not negatively, just constructive criticism to help highlight the coaching program. I do want to give a thanks to all of the people in the community that are kind of coming out to help me get information together for future videos and or provide their hard-earned resources to us for our culture. It's beautiful at how supportive people are of the channel, the community, and of me. So I can't express my appreciation for that. It's pretty cool to watch. And if you guys have not liked and subscribed already, feel free to subscribe to the channel to see more about Art of Conquest. Smash the thumbs up button if you like this content. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.